Okay, so we've planted for a couple days now. And the garden's a little couple things are starting to pop up. So what do you think?
Now this is probably the most exciting time of having a garden, is after the seeds start popping up and you see all the plants take hold and start growing. You just have to make sure and keep them good and watered so that they don't wilt and die, and that you take care to weed out around the plants so that the other things in the garden that you're not growing, that are growing on their own, don't take away the nourishment from the other plants.
So what is the reason that you like to grow a garden?
To me, it's very relaxing. It just is time to spend outdoors and taking care of something and nurturing something along, and watching it grow and produce. So that's just a hobby. So those are the beans. They're already growing pretty good.
Grown quite a bit since day one.
They typically grow pretty fast. So. And then you have we left one sunflower. As you can see, it's going to grow pretty fast and it gets pretty tall. And then we have the section that's full of corn. The corn's coming up now. As you can see, all the other little things that are popping up in there that don't belong there. The corn kind of stands out because it grows taller. As it grows taller, we'll be able to weed around them. And then the zucchinis over here. You see, they got pretty big leaves sprouting already. But they'll get really big, and we'll have to thin it out. There may be only 3 plants per mound, so that they're not competing with each other. You can see in this other corner, you can start to see some of the onion sets that are coming up. A lot of weeds in there. I need onions to get up tall enough so I don't accidentally get the onions. And then the cucumbers here, there's some that we planted from seed and a couple that we planted by plants. So they'll kind of follow with that path.
So a couple coming up on each one.
The seeds will probably catch up with the plants. At least that's been my experience. We have our token eggplant that we planted as a plant to start with. All the rest of this particular section is cucumbers. And then the last is the yellow summer squash. You can see here too that the hills, the squash from seed is in the hills. And we planted some squash from plants that are doing okay, but I think that the ones in the hills will probably end up doing better. So again, we'll thin these down to just like 3 to 4 plants per hill.
Okay.
So, and tomatoes are over there in on the patio. So I usually have a harder time with the tomatoes out here than the birds getting them. So they do better closer to the house. So and then I have a fig tree that's going to get a lot of figs this year, hopefully. So
we have some started somewhere.
yeah, there's a couple little ones that you can see right here.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty big already. Another here. So, but usually the figs, the bulk of the figs you don't get until like June
Okay.
or July, the end of June, beginning of July. So we may get a few before then, but the one thing with figs I found out last year is that you got to give them a lot of water. They really like water, so they'll produce a lot better if you give them water.
So they can all die if you don't give them any water?
They just won't grow very well.
Okay.
They'll start withering and fall off the tree.
Okay.